Okay, the last review wasn't exactly the greatest game ever, so this time I got something better. Secret Weapons Over Normandy for the PS2. Man, I freaking love this game. I never really played flying simulation games before, and I don't really have the urge to play others either. And there's a ton of World War II games out there, so it doesn't really differentiate itself much, but Secret Weapons Over Normandy is just a really solid overall game. The game follows a standard mission structure with various goals and objectives. One really nice feature is to be able to go back and play previous missions, even though they've already been completed. A lot of games have this, but you can replay the missions before finishing the game, which is really convenient. Even though it takes a little bit away from the realism of the game, another cool feature is being able to upgrade your planes and even select different planes to fly in different missions. You want to fly a Japanese plane in Russia? Go for it. You want to fly a German plane over the Pacific? Go for it. They obviously suggest one plane over another for certain missions, but you can tailor your playing experience to fit your style, as there are some slow armored planes, quick agile planes, and super fast destructive planes. It also caters to a more casual gamer by giving the player a red reticule to fire at while engaging a target. There are different difficulties, and the harder ones remove this feature, but it goes a long way to make the game easier and more fun to play. While it is a game that I love, there are some frustrating parts about it too. One thing is that it can get a little overwhelming sometimes with all the stuff you have to keep track of. There are aerial targets, ground targets, you have to maintain your height, speed, throttle, primary and secondary weapon ammunition supplies, primary, secondary, and bonus goals, your plane's damage, all while having AI comrades speak in real time to change objectives or add information. Got that? Good. Also, obviously when you hit the ground, your plane blows up. That's common sense. But I've made contact with other planes in the air, and there doesn't seem to be any damage repercussions. Which just isn't supposed to be a super realistic flight simulator, but at least they could let you not hit other planes. Sometimes it just takes me out of the feel of the game. And the checkpoints can be a problem too sometimes. Have you ever played a game where you get checkpointed the instant before a very difficult part came up? Or right as you were on the edge of death? Yeah, that's this game. The checkpoints are initiated as soon as you complete an objective, so it can make it hard to return to that point if the objective required really intense combat. I promise this is the last thing I'll critique about this game, and it's more realistic than anything I could really think of, but the friendly airfields that are quote-unquote nearby, in order to rearm and fix damage, are just too far away. It may take 2 or 3 minutes to fly over to these airfields, which can be dangerous and you can get shot down. But like I said, at least that's realistic, because not every friendly airfield is going to be right near the enemy. And there's a slow down and speed up time feature that really comes in handy for these parts, but I forget about it too much. So I guess that's more user error than game flaw, but it's just not a very memorable feature. It's really useful, but there's no part in the game where it's required to make it really stick in my memory, so I forget all the time. Alright, back to the good stuff. As many World War II games do the same, you fight using various allied powers, including the Americans, Russians, but most prominently in this game, the British. While their overall contributions to the war were fairly small in comparison, this game is a reminder that it wasn't all just the United States and Russia. It's just an overall solid game. The difficulty's right there on the border of challenging to play, but not too easy to breeze through it. With the upgrades and the time speed features, if you remember them, it has enough to set it apart from other similar games. The cutscenes are decent, nothing to write home about, but it also has a multiplayer mode to fight one-on-one, or you can play in cooperative missions, which I really think it would have worked well with a co-op campaign, but sadly that's not the case. That's all I really had to say without going into much detail about each mission. That's it for now, but more PS2 games should be on the horizon. Thanks for watching, and look for the next review.